Yo guys, I'm Excavation and I'm back for round number 3 of the Nyck De Vries career mode. We are here in Spain.
Here we are at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, where today's qualifying session is about to start. And we'll be ready to join the action down at trackside any moment now.
So coming into the Spanish Grand Prix here for the F2, I was really looking to finally get some points on the board. It was really frustrating up until this point because I hadn't had any points. I did have that 9th place, but coming into this lap, and I really just needed something good. But Giotto right there on the apex, stopping us from going through. I felt a little bit hard done by there, and that was not the end of the lap, but a big chunk of the lap time gone. But we carry on here. We go a little bit wide. I feel like it does justice though, considering Giotto just parking on the apex. So already 3/10 down going through the first sector on George Russell. Coming into the back part of the track now. I've really struggled in Sector 3, but Sector 2 I was in a class of my own throughout the weekend. And to be fair, Sector 3 I wasn't bad throughout the weekend. There was just definitely a lot of mistakes I'd make in the early parts of Sector 3, but the back end of Sector 3 I was very good. The chicane and the corner before the chicane. But we went 13th fastest, and again we jumping further onto this lap now, coming through the middle sector, and this is where I was just so good, that middle sector. Towards this was the bit where I was bad throughout the lap, and as you can see they're making a mistake there, losing a big chunk, losing about a 1/10 and a half, but really from this corner on I was very good throughout it, and it's because it's a proper racing track, unlike potentially the first two that we've been to, flowing corners. And as you see, we actually went purple in the final sector to go 4th fastest here in qualifying.
As we wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top 3. Russell, Albon and Artem Markelov. It's time to leave for now, but we'll be back tomorrow when the feature race gets itself underway.
So yeah, I was very happy with 4th place. That was actually a lot better. I just wanted to get some points, let alone maybe 8th for reverse grid pole. But yeah, 4th place, not bad.
Welcome to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, here in Spain, for what is expected to be a very closely contested race. It's 2.89 miles around the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, 7 lefts and 9 rights that make up a total of 16 corners. Probably one of the best opportunities for overtaking is down the main straight and into the first turn. That's one of the 2 DRS zones the drivers will be able to use this weekend. Alongside me today, I'm delighted to welcome back to the commentary box the 2012 GP2 champion, Davide Valsecchi. There looks to be a challenging race ahead of the drivers today, Davide. With that in mind, what are you looking out for today?
Well, Alex, I want to see how the drivers at the back of the grid are going to run down. They'll need to make an impact in the early stages, and they're probably hoping for a bit of luck at the start. We may see some bold maneuvers out there today.
Here are the starting positions for today's race. George Russell lines up on pole position, with Alexander Albon starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Markelov, De Vries, Sergio Sette Camara, and Latifi. Giotto, Boccolacci, Cuoco, Lando Norris, Merry, Maney, Jack Aitken, and Delatraz, Kari, Makino, Galeo, and Alessio Lurandi. Gunter and Nerei Fukuzumi starts from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So obviously the ecstatic with qualifying, and the plan here is really get as many points as I can, because I don't know how often this is going to happen.
Run into turn 1 isn't too long, so the pack will be bunched up. Take care.
Really looking forward to this race. I was just looking forward, and I was very nervous about the start. It's a fairly long run into turn 1, I feel, and the poor starts we've been getting. Not a bad start as the lights go out, but as you can see, losing a place to Sergio Sette Camara, hoping, we're just trying to lose, basically damage limitation off the start. 2 cars going around the outside, but we do manage to actually touch Sette Camara, and we managed to only lose 1 position, which for me is a good start, because I just can't seem to start these F2 cars. And going a little bit wide, I just was really pushing because obviously I was still a little bit frustrated, as you can see there. A bit of a hopeful look on Sergio Sette Camera. We just really wanted to get past him, and as you can see, trying to line up around the outside, but can't. Look to maybe do a cutback, but can't, and we have to settle behind him.
Okay, now stay alert for threats around you.
Dorian Boccalacci behind us. We actually go a little touch on the back there, lose the back end, but that's one thing that has actually improved from Baku to Spain, with the ability for us to keep the car under, just not losing the back end as much, not losing the car. And you might be able to tell we are really pushing hard on these opening laps. I really wanted to get past him early. And as you can see, moving to the back end of the second lap here, we went purple in the first sector, as you always do, on the first lap. But coming through, George Russell goes fastest. And onto lap 3, DRS enabled. And at some point I am going to have to get rid of that learn more DRS thing into the braking zone. And we're just trying to stick with Sergio Sette Camera. We have a last race in Baku, we had no corner speed and we had so much straight line speed and compared to the AR, but I feel like this weekend we've done the opposite. We've got more downforce than everybody else, and I don't regret it. I think it's a good decision, but yeah, it is quite interesting. Down the inside, we get a little touch. It didn't leave us any room. It was a bit of a lunge, and that's why we let him stay ahead. But moving on, he goes defensive through the chicane, and that shows that he is 100% thinking about us. He knows we're there. We knows we're not messing around. We're not looking to wait behind him. We get DRS now on him, but fortunately he gets it as well, so we can't do anything. But now, going alongside Sergio Sette Camera, nope, he has DRS and the slipstream from the car in front, but now he doesn't. Are we going to gain? We gain enough to go down the outside, braking so late. We know we have to brake late because we are going to go around the outside, and what a move. From a long way back, we lunge into turn 1 and back up into P4 where we started. Now onto the back end of lap 4 here. Trying to get around. I learned that upshifting to third fairly soon in that chicane was probably the best way, because in practice I was losing the back end lots when I was pushing. DRS on Alexander Albon, gaining slightly, but he's got DRS and slipstream onto Markelov. And getting fairly close through there. We were braking so much later than them, everybody else, which was good. I think they were all going through in 4th gear, which is probably why. Trying to get the power and not driving through the back of him, staying on the track. And he goes defensive into turn 4 there. Again, it's very nice to see the cars going defensive. One, for the racing facts on F1 2019. It's fun when they're actually defending. And 2, it shows that they know that we're there and they know that we're a threat. And Alexander Albon's certainly knowing that. Obviously, I feel like there's still a little bit to improve on my driving in the F2 cars, but we're certainly making big improvements. Getting very close to the back of Alexander Albon there. And pitting very soon. We're supposed to pit next lap, but I don't think we are. I think we'll stay out one more lap. And now getting a good run on Alex Albon, getting slightly alongside, and we're going to send it into turn 4. Full send there, down the inside. What an overtake. And that's going to become a common theme for overtaking in that position throughout both the races. I just seem to carry so much more speed through turn 3 because of the increased downforce that we're using on the rest of the cars. Now hunting down Markelov here, as you can see on lap 6. Get a great run, and it's kind of bye-bye with nobody. He doesn't get DRS nor slipstream, sorry, from the car in front, so we brake later than him ever so slightly, and that is all she wrote for Markelov. And up into P2, and I mean, George Russell is a long way ahead. So as you can see on lap 8 now, coming into the pits, and George Russell's a long way down. You can see him there coming, pitting just in front of us. No stupid penalties for driving at the speed limit in the pit lane, unlike Baku. We are going to double stack here. They did offer for me to pit this lap. Like they said, would you like to change your strategy to pit on lap 8? And I said yes, so I thought that they would get Galel in the lap after or the lap before. But no, they managed to do a successful double stack, which is very impressive in the F2 level. Unfortunately, staying out an extra lap has let Markelov and Albon get past. And I thought that, I mean, it wasn't my best in lap ever, but I didn't think that we'd be near losing out to them. It was a decent last sector I put in. Sergio Sette Camera put in the fastest lap of the race in, and now Albon going wheel to wheel with Markelov. And this is going to let us get right in. We're going to try and put our nose in there, try and do something. They're wheel to wheel coming through 1, 2, and now 3. They're still wheel to wheel all the way through 3. We're getting very close as these two are battling away. They're going to go wheel to wheel. Surely not into turn 4 as well. And Markelov is going to push Albon wide, and it's going to open the door for us to send it 3 wide. And through we go on Markelov and Albon, and you just feel that Albon has cost himself a place there while trying to overtake. We move back up into P2. Now moving on to lap 15, doing really well, but I just limited opportunities here. Was basically just fighting for P2 at this point. Albon never really going to catch us up there. As you can see, the gap 7.8 seconds, just gaining, but we move now onto lap 17. We've got a big gap to Albon, and we've also got a big gap to Russell, so really just nursing the car home, trying to potentially look for a fastest lap. I was kind of going hard in the middle, in the first sector, and if we got a good first sector, I'd push for the rest of the lap, which is exactly what we get here. Purple first sector, so now I'm really pushing. But unfortunately, we don't do very well. We do lose out in the middle sector, and we come around the final turn on the last lap, and we are going to cross the line for our first podium finish. P2 in the Spanish Grand Prix, and much needed after our very poor form in the first 2 races. Great comeback and a great drive from P4 on the grid to finish P2. Fantastic work, and looking forward to next race as well.
Victory for ART then, after a quality performance. Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
I think they kept a cool head. That's why they won today. Smooth, steady, everything bad that happened to them, they handled it calmly and professionally. That's what let them focus on getting the best out everything else. The car, the strategy, they managed to keep out of trouble the whole way around.
An amazing race today, and a very well-deserved one too. The team worked very hard to get exactly the right setup out of the F2 car that works for them, and the results speak for themselves. ARTGP winners today.
So there we are with our first trophy in this F2 career mode. And a great bounce back after Baku, where we struggled, and Bahrain, where we struggled even more. And for the sprint race, we'll be starting P7 with the reverse grid. So looking to just get a nice points haul, maybe another podium if absolutely possible, but yeah, Spain's a difficult track, so not expecting much.
The lead at the top has come down after a poor result for our points leader. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
Look at where Nerei Fukuzumi finished compared to where he started. That's a really strong performance. So driver of the day has to go to him, I think.
And now a look at the team standings. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from ART this time out, and they improved their position in the championship. Goodbye for now then, but we really are just getting started. Make sure you join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
So really buzzing for this sprint race, because we had some, as you can see, we had some serious pace, and George Russell is behind us, the man who we just could not catch. So 5 lights. And away we go for this sprint race, a 13-lap race around Spain. No pit stop, and George Russell gets a better start than us. In fact, everybody gets a better start than us. Once again, I will need to work on that at some point, because it's just poor. We're down to P10. We've got Merriam, Fuoco, and Russell that got past. We're going to go round the outside. We're going to go down. We're now going to go wheel to wheel with Fuoco. We touch wheels slightly in there with Fakazumi, and now trying to go round the outside of Fuoco. He bounces us out to the edge of the track, but we stay, well, so we get ahead, sorry, and now back up into P8. So we've only lost 1 position from the start here, similar to the feature race, and it's George Russell ahead that we're going to try and hunt down. Now into the middle sector where we have been so strong all weekend long. Can we gain enough to maybe make an overtake into the end of the straight here on George Russell? We have a little look into the chicane, but no more than a little look. We have a little snap of oversteer on the exit. Now climbing the hill through the right-hander, get the power down, and can we? We're gaining, getting a little bit closer, and we're going to have a horrible lunge. We're going to not touch, and we're going to squeeze him up. We're going to lose the back end. He's going to stay behind us, so we're going to get back up into P7, so back where we started, and Alexander Albon ahead. Looking to push on now, and what can we do from P7 here, because there's a long way to go in this sprint race. It might be a sprint race, but it's still a long race. It's still 13 laps around this track. There's still a lot of time and a lot of pace in the car as we go across the line. Set a decent lap time, and now coming round for the end of lap number 2 now. Coming round the final corner, a nice little exit. Look at how much we gained on Alexander Albon. De Vries fastest lap, Sete Camera fastest lap, De Vries fastest lap, George Russell fastest lap. And he just pips us by the matter of a 10th, I believe. We're now gaining on Alexander Albon. We're going to go into the braking zone. We're going to have a little look, but no more than just a little look again. And we're getting very close with our high downforce package. Also means we can brake very late with a high downforce package. It means we brake a lot later, a lot more efficiently, and we're going to look. He goes defensive to the inside. We set another purple first sector here. Cut back to the inside. Alexander Albon gets better of us. We're going to dive down the inside, though, on Alexander Albon. No contact. We're going to squeeze him out, and that's going to get us up to P6 on lap 3, and the charge continues. Going up the hill now, trying to chase after Luca Giotto here. Can we improve on our position? A moment P6, and it's all bunched up. It's looking fairly good. DRS open, gaining. We're going to brake very late. We're going to steer to the inside. We're going to get a purple middle sector. We're going to be wheel to wheel, but we are going to get past Luca Giotto in the same lap as Alexander Albon. Sorry, and Lando Norris is next. Little snap of oversteer now coming into the final section of the track where we've been very good. We've just been so good around this track compared to the 2 before. Coming through the second to last corner, another snap of oversteer through the final corner. Are we going to improve on the lap time? We are going to put a green final sector fastest lap of 134.503, and I don't think George Russell will beat that, so that is the fastest lap so far. Moving on now to lap 5, Lando Norris, we're very close behind him. Almost touching him. A little snap of oversteer again through there. That was a common theme of this race, just pushing so hard. We're going to get the DRS open. We're going to gain. We're getting very close. And you'd like to think, judging by the last 2 moves here, we're going to dive down the inside. And what an overtake. Going to keep it clean. He's going to stay alongside us. We're going to get the inside line to the next corner. And that moves us up to P4 on lap 5 here. We are storming through the field. Looking at this rate, we're going to be on for a win potentially. Sergio Sete Camera next up. Purple first sector, slower middle sector. Coming round the final corner, can we improve on our time again? DRS open. And we don't improve. We're 1.5 tenths down. We're gaining on Sergio Sete Camera here. Into the braking zone, going to get very close. Looking very good here. And Nicholas Latifi is out of the session. Not really, we haven't seen him all weekend really, so not the biggest, most important information for us, but can we gain on Sergio Sete Camera here? He goes slightly defensive going into turn 4 there. We improve in the first sector. Going to get on the power, lose the back end a bit, but it's going to help us rotate the car. Are we going to have a look, just a little look into the hairpin? And can we catch Sergio Sete Camera now? Moving on to the back, this main straight. Louis De Vries puts the fastest lap through. We put the fastest final sector through. Can we get a good run onto Sergio Sete Camera? Sergio Sete Camera goes wheel to wheel with Boccolacci, and Boccolacci pins him to the outside of the track. We dive down the inside, just keep it on the track, and past Boccolacci and Sergio Sete Camera we go. We're up into P2 on lap 8 of this sprint race, and is the win on Louis Delatraz did get the fastest lap on that lap as well, and we improved through the first sector once again. And my, oh my, we have been gifted 2 double overtakes in 2 races now. Moving on. Later in the lap, we go fastest in the middle sector. This is looking like a really nice lap. Can we nick that fastest lap back? The points, 2 points, I believe, for fastest lap. We cross the line. Fastest lap, 133.986. A very good lap time. On to lap 9 we go. And the aim is win and fastest lap. We move on to lap 10 now. Hunting down Louis Delatraz. Fastest final sector. No DRS for Delatraz. No slipstream for Delatraz. We have both. Tyres getting slightly warm. We're going to dive to the outside. We're going to go right round the long way. And we're going to pinch him off. And actually, that was one of the easiest of the overtakes today. He's put no fight up, really. Just held the inside line slightly. Didn't brake very late. And we just allowed to cruise around the outside. What an overtake. Easiest one, I'd say. One of them, at least. And improving again through the first sector. We are looking very dangerous. But right onto the final lap now. 87% tyre wear. So nerve-wracking. And we're going to come ahead. I think Sergio Sed's camera did get past Louis Delatraz at some point. And we're going to come home to take our first win in Formula 2 of the season. Nyck De Vries, first place from 7th place. What a race at a track that's difficult to overtake. And we have come very strong here, showing our paces there. Fastest lap and the win. What a result for us.
What set them apart from the competition here?
This race, this win, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency. Anyone can be quick for just one lap, but there's a difference between that and being quick every lap, over and over and over. If you can do that, if you can gain ground when your opponents make mistakes, but then not make mistakes on your own, you can just push and push.
It looks like it's time for the victory ceremony once again. As I can
there
see
we
the
are
drivers beginning to make their way
for our
out
first ever Formula 2 win as Nyck De Vries. I believe he got a couple in the season before, in the 2017 season, but the 2018 one, we didn't get off to a flyer with Nyck De Vries, but we've finally started shooting a 2nd place and a 1st place, and excited to go to Monaco, a very tough track, and see what we can do there, because in Formula 1 cars I've been very strong around Monaco, so it's going to be interesting to see what we can do.
See how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It's a good result for Lando Norris, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
Oh, there's a lot of options, but my instinct says Nyck De Vries, and looking down the field, no one really jumps out at me to change my mind.
And here's how things are shaping up in the team.
So there we go, driver of the day. What a race.
A strong weekend for them as they fight their way to the top. There will be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you'll join us at the next race when Formula 2 returns.
So thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a fantastic episode. It's going to be even more exciting in Monaco. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Excavation. This is the Nyck De Vries Career Mode. Subscribe, like, comment. Goodbye.